Welcome to Turn Into Podcast. I'm Gina Baruch. Join me in my journey and discover how women's stories are woven into our lives, reflecting the beautiful tapestry of human experience. Hello and welcome back. This is Gina Baruch, and today we're continuing my journey through my hometown, Jaltipan. In our last episode, I was grappling with a big question. Should I stay or should I go? I was lying in my hammock under a full moon, the breeze warm, the crickets singing their nightly chorus, the moonlight filtered through the grapefruit and orange trees, casting dancing shadows. My mind wandered, searching for a truly safe place in the world. But the truth is, life is unpredictable. We have zero control over the big things, like the hour we will die. So, should I let fear drive my decisions? My answer, clear as the moonlight, was no. I knew I will leave eventually, but for very different reasons. A childhood memory surfaced, bringing a smile to my face. As a kid, my family thought I saw ghosts. "It's there, sitting there," I had exclaimed. While I don't remember those specific instances, I vividly recall seeing faces everywhere, especially in nature, in tree trunks, in the shadows of branches. Later, I will learn there's nothing strange about it. Scientists have found that the more creative brains often have the ability to spot patterns, even faces, in everyday objects. But my family didn't know that. All they knew was that I couldn't sleep, and neither could they. My parents, in her loving concern, sent me to my auntie. She performed a traditional cleansing, passing an egg and basil over my head and body. She then broke the egg into a glass, seemingly read it. And that night, I slept like a newborn. I didn't see anything for years after that. My mom herself has a talent for these white tricks. If she had a party and didn't want rain to ruin it, she would stick a knife in the earth. If her keys went missing, she would tie the tail of the mischievous spirits who hid them to the table. And surprisingly, it worked. Moments later, I will hear her muttering a little guilty, "This is the last time, I swear." I grew up stepping stories of rituals, wizards, and spirits. My mom once told me about her older brother who got into a fight with the son of a well-known witch. My grandma took my uncle to a wizard for protection. That night, they heard a ferocious fight of wolves so loud it kept them awake. The next morning, they found the wizard injured, covered in wounds. It makes me wonder when we will realize that energy is like a boomerang. As Ramdas wisely said in his famous book, Be Here, Be Now, one day you will realize that you are the only one in the room. Everything you put out, you are giving to yourself. So, where does all this mysticism come from? It reaches back to 1492. When Christopher Columbus accidentally landed in the Caribbean, weeks later, an indigenous person spotted his caravels floating in the ocean. bewildered. Look at that thing. Why the delayed recognition? Because the brain struggles to process anything it hasn't registered before, even if it's right in front of you. Columbus returned to Spain, spreading news of this new world. But it wasn't until 1519 that Hernán Cortés arrived in Mexico. Sent on an exploratory expedition, his ambition and desire for wealth led him to defy orders and conquer the Aztec Empire. This marked Veracruz as the first established port in Mexico. Later, Spain forcibly shipped over 100,000 African enslaved people to Mexico. Jaltipan, my hometown, is nestled in the south of the Gulf of Mexico, bordering Tabasco, Chiapas, and Oaxaca. It was a virgin jungle, teeming with diverse flowers, fruits, mosquitoes, and yes, even venomous spiders, snakes, and jaguars. Its population is a vibrant mix, largely descendant from those Africans who settled in Veracruz. Many were forced into slavery, cultivating sugarcane for brandy, working in fisheries, hunting grounds, sugar mills, and cattle ranches. This rich history explains the incredible mix of cultures, tradition, and physical appearances seen today in my little town. The traditional indigenous dress for women in Jaltipan is also a hybrid of pre-Hispanic, Spain, and African influences. The refajo, a striped textile wrapped around the hips and tied with a wide woven belt. The colors denote age. Young girls wear red. Adult women sport classic yellow and red stripes. The typical blouse is a white knitted top. Nature also plays a role in costume. A flower placed strategically at the left ear signals engaged or marriage status. The right ear means single. And a flower placed in the middle of the head? I don't know. That could suggest a more complex relationship status. Perhaps even a nod to a polyamorous relationship. I remember as a child visiting Los Pocitos, a spring with several wells where women would gather water and wash laundry. These women, often wearing their traditional refajos, will wash topless, their laughter and jokes echoing as I barefoot played in the water, lost in my own fantasy world. Who could have thought that this experience will leave such a profound mark, inspiring me years later to depict the laundry washer, a reminder of the wisdom and joy I found in those women. Continuing the story, during the 6th century, Mexico was called the New Spain, and its dominant economic activities were mining and agriculture. Spanish landowners developed vast agricultural estates throughout the country, including Yucatan. It's fascinating how a creative spark generated in this place will profoundly influence the traditions of Veracruz a century later. Picture Juana. After a long day in the fields under the scorching sun, she arrives at her small shack, takes a shot of aguardiente, and collapses into her hammock under the shade of an avocado tree. Her children, hungry and craving attention, are distracted with bananas while she tries to snatch a quick nap. Just as she's drifting off, a voice calls, "Juana! Juana!" "Why wake me up? I'm trying to nap," she grumbles. "The landlord calls. He has new guests and a party. He needs more help cooking and serving. Hurry up." "Ta madre," she curses under her breath. I'll go after I feed my children. Juan arrives and cooks the most delicious dishes imaginable. After serving, she's stuck cleaning up. The sunset paints the sky in oranges and purples, and a cool wind finally blows. Suddenly, she hears a beautiful, soft melody. Hypnotized, she follows the sound. It's a Spanish guest playing a piece of wood shaped like a woman's body with a hole in the middle. She stays all night, hidden behind a bush, delighting in the sound. After that, Juana couldn't sleep anymore. She was obsessed with the sound of the music. One day, working in the fields, a cedar tree branch almost fell on her head. The branch had a silhouette like the instrument she had seen before. A wave of ecstasy washed over her. Despite her exhaustion, she curved the tree trunk non-stop. When she finished polishing the wood, she attached 4 fish intestines as strings. This was the moment the jarana was born. Now, the truth is, no one really knows who invented the jarana, but I love to imagine it was a woman. A century later, yes, a whole century, we didn't have Uber deliverers back then, this amazing invention will inspire the creation of the son jarocho in Veracruz. The jarana is similar in size and design to the ukulele, both having 4 strings. However, their sounds differ. Ukuleles are gentler and more harmonious, while the jarana is a bit more thunderous. The son jarocho has no single creator. It's a true cultural expression, a clear example of cultural fusion. It intertwines Baroque instrumentations with the cadence of pre-Hispanic and the rhythms of African music. Later, other instruments were added, such as the leona, an instrument similar to a guitar, the drum and the quijada de burro, a percussion instrument made from the dried jawbone of a donkey, horse, or mule. The lyrics and poetry, usually in verbs, quatrains, or tenths, often improvised, passing from generation to generation. They speak of love, heartbreak, rural life, characters, animals, plants, weather, and nature in general. It reminds me a little bit of the blues created by African Americans. The son jarocho is mainly performed in fandangos, traditional festivals where people dance and sing. The women's dress code usually features a colorful, flowery white skirt, a woven blouse, a flower in the ear, a sturdy heel shoes to make a louder sound on the wooden platform. Men dress in the typical white guayabera with a red bandana around their neck and a hat. The zapateado is an essential part of son jarocho. Dancers perform a rhythmic footwork over a wooden square platform, becoming an additional instrument to the music. The song usually starts slowly, with musicians playing the jarana and reciting verses, and dancers maintaining a smooth zapateado. As the music builds to a climax, the dancer's footwork becomes as fast and powerful as the rhythm. The fandango was also a form of courtship. When a man had his eye on a woman, he would invite her to dance. If she accepted, he would place his hat on her head, a sign that she was committed to dancing with him all night. A bit old school, right? Today most people use Tinder. Each year, the local cultural house promotes a seminar where musicians or dancers from other states and countries come to stay for a week at a ranch in Las Lomas, continuing to cultivate and perpetuate our traditions. It was in these workshops that I made incredible friends and met Angela, a national award winner in backstrap weaving, who will expand my mind in ways I never imagined. In our next episode, we will discover how Angela influenced my artistic path, the evolution of my dreams, and the unexpected turns my inner voices took. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast and want to support the work I'm doing, please consider checking out my Patreon. You can find the link in the show notes. Your gratitude and support help me create more content you love. You can also follow me at Instagram at Gina Baruch Art. See you next week, and remember, you were born to shine.